What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we're finally getting to our custom tunes for our 6.7 Powerstroke. But first we got to address some DPF stuff. We're going to go over how to replace your DPF. So we're going to go over that. We're going to get the tunes loaded in, the custom tunes from Blessed Performance, 6 Obros, 10% off Blessed Performance tuning. So go check those guys out. Super excited to work with them. Full disclosure, he did send these tunes over to me for review. Like I said, I'm excited. So we're gonna get onto that. We're gonna get in here. The exhaust is still hot. It's gonna be awful to take out probably. So while we start breaking bolts back here, we're going to shoot the tune in. I do want to show you my first issue. See if it's showing here. So that bolt, that's broke already. So getting all of them off, they're all probably going to break. That's a bit of a problem. Some issues. First off, we decided to cut the extension pipe. We're gonna get a 3.5 inch to 3.5 inch adapter to make that final size back the way it's supposed to be. We'll do that later. We're just gonna cut it now because those bolts are giving me super big issues at the moment. So we're just gonna cut it. We're gonna quit messing around. Guys, if you're not gonna use it, I'll put links to just the DPF back exhaust, which is what eventually is gonna go on this truck. I wanna see how much that factory muffler contraption that they have on there actually does before I convert to the full 4-inch exhaust. So we're gonna cut that pipe in about the middle is the goal. Those of you guys that follow the channel, I'm a big fan of Milwaukee, so I got the M12 Fuel, which is the brushless series from them, and which actually came with a free tool. So I actually got a second battery powered 3/8 ratchet. I use that tool all the time. My current one is probably like 5 years old. No issues with it, but I mean, it came free. The only other thing I wanted on there was a battery, and it was a small battery, so I got the more expensive item. So we got this whole giant piece out here. We did have to cut this. Shout out to the M12 Milwaukee little hacksaw thing. That thing's a monster. This rear sensor. So this is going over your axle part here. You got this guy. You got to pop these two little clips out and those two clips out and then disconnect it back there. I have not figured out disconnecting it from there. So I don't know if it's supposed to or not, but we just took the whole thing out. At some point, if someone in the audience knows what this is, let me know. I'm curious. My guess is, I'm not sure if this is an exhaust temp or if this is a pressure sensor back here. Not sure which. There's so many freaking sensors in this thing, it's not even funny. So it did start drizzling. Hopefully it just stays a drizzle. I'm really hoping. So we're gonna go to the next piece now. We've already disconnected a few of the sensors on the actual DPF. I think there's like 8 of them. We're like 3 in disconnected. So we're gonna get back to that, start disconnecting that. Once I pull that whole assembly out, we will go over all the different sensors and how to kind of pop them out. Okay, so to give you an update, we have 7 of the 8 sensors unplugged. I can't get to the 8th one, excuse me. I can do math. We disconnect the 2 bolts that hold the DPF. There we go. The DPF to the downpipe. I did have to cut one, which is kind of irritating because I had both bolts out the other day. And then I couldn't get this guy out. So after a couple minutes of trying, we cut it. I shouldn't have bought a hacksaw. I'm going to cut everything now. So my truck's going to sound better than that 6-liter. I love 6 liters, but I see that truck all the time and it makes me really want mine back. Still working on Project Independently Wealthy. It's not going well. Anyway, so one thing, this exhaust is held in with a ton of hangers. Like, it's 2 at every spot, and probably because the DPF is so heavy. I think they say it's like 80 pounds. I'm not looking forward to wrestling that out by myself. That should, I imagine, probably be pretty terrible. I'll let you guys know, because I'm going to do it here. So we're going to get back under. We're going to start popping more of the hangers off. One little trick, if you can't get them off here, you can, most of them are bolted on, like this guy here. So you can just unbolt them. This is the only one I saw that has studs into a bracket on the frame, or excuse me, on the bed. So you probably couldn't do much with this. But other than those two, which you have pretty decent access to these, so it shouldn't be too terrible. That one, obvious, I tried getting this off. I wasn't having luck, so we just took the whole thing off. 2 10mm bolts. But the rest of them, you can get, they're just nuts sticking on this side of the frame to unbolt them. So I'm going to try to avoid that, because I mean, every bolt I try to take off of this truck is a fiasco. So I don't want to yeah, it'd be terrible to cut that stuff. So we're going to try to just leave them on. WD-40 or PB Blaster. I've used both on this. I'm running out of WD-40. I think I have a little better luck with WD-40 as far as like lubricating to help me get these out. PB Blaster I think works better on rust. I use them both. I know like some people are in one camp or the other. Like, you can't like WD-40 if you like PB Blaster, and I don't know why. So we have all the hangers off, or at least pulled up off of the hangers, I should say. And basically I'm using 2 jack stands to kind of help hold this up. It is heavy. This is terrible doing by yourself so far. But so get under here. So what I've been doing is setting it down, and I basically hang out right here, and I kind of shoulder it up and kick this down so I can bring it down a little bit. And basically, as I pull it out a little more, we're going to eventually just kind of get it on the ground, and I'm going to drag it out, maybe roll it half out. But yeah, this is kind of a 2-person job. It'd be nice to have somebody hold the DPF and then slowly lower it while I mess with the jacks, or even help kind of just hold it while I maneuver it, because it is like 5-ish foot of pipe, maybe 6, I don't quite know, but it's a big piece of pipe. Well, it's a big piece of nonsense. So there was also an extra sensor. I think I had 9 sensors. This is a 15. So once I finish pulling this out, we'll count all the sensors. I do think, like I said, I think there was an extra one. The video I saw of somebody taking this out was on an 11. Basically, you just want to be careful. There's sensors on both banks of it, so left and right at the top. There's the def injection area nonsense as well, where there's like 3 or 4 on this in that area. So a lot of junk to get out. Actually, even underneath here, I'm wearing safety glasses because so much crap has fallen in my face and eyes that it just made it easier to pull my little pansy glasses out, but it's so much better than getting crap out of your eyes. So we got this piece of crap out. Not terribly awful, definitively not fun to do on your own, but we got it out. So one thing I will say, notice each part does have 2 hangers. Like, this is a heavy piece, and Ford, I got to give it to him, nice job making sure it's fully supported for its weight. This front part here has 2 on it actually. So we come back, this nonsense right behind it, and again, this is a 2015. I do believe on the earlier models there was 1 less sensor. I don't think this guy was there. So you got this guy here, and on all these little, there's a bunch of these, 1 2 3 4, there's like 4 or 5 of these guys. The plug that it has, you'll press on that and then pull this out. So nothing on the actual connector gets pressed on, it's on the actual piece it plugs into. You press on that and pull that out. So there's 1, and moving back here, and there's 4 connections you're going to be able to get to right away. So, well, I shouldn't say right away. I did have to loosen some of the system to be able to get to like this, or no, this one was easy to get to. I did have to loosen some of the connections though to get to some of these sensors. So again, another one of these black ones, the exact same. So on mine, this is the injector for the DEF system. So there was a heat shield thing over this, so I had to pull that off. And then there was a a white clip. I had to pry that off. And then you could pull on these sensors. I used a screwdriver at the bottom, or not the sensor, the tabs. There were tabs on either side. You press them in, and then a screwdriver on the bottom, popped it off. This one, I forget exactly how, but this was easy to get off. Pretty self-explanatory, that one, as I remember. This guy, so this one comes to the outside frame rail actually, and then you just, this red piece is all the way forward, so I used a screwdriver to pop that down and then press in the middle there that you just revealed, and then you can pull that off. So now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connections. Back here, this one, number 6 and number 7, so another one of these easy guys to get. This one was easy to get. I believe it was on the outside here. Pop that off. Now it does also have a little tree fitting in here, so you got to pull that out in order to drop this out. And then last, there's another one of these. Again, pull back on the red thing. I used a screwdriver, press in the middle when you reveal it, pull that out. Another one of these guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 connections on there. And then of course, just to reiterate, number 10 here, and this is the tailpipe section. Whew. That is a workout. This thing's heavy. As for 1, 2, 3, basically, so there's 5 mounting points that hold this up then. So each one has 2 except for the very front one. So again, 2 back there, 2 there, 1 up there. Now this does have 2 of the pieces on it, and both of them need to come off. That was kind of hard to do. I ended up just prying. How did I do that? I ended up having to take the pry bar handle back down here to be able to get some leverage to pry them off again. WD-40 is your friend. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. It was a painful video to make. It's funny having to talk up over the truck again because it's been a while since I've had to do that. But clearly we need to get the rest of the exhaust on to make this sound good. It's a little much right now, but we're gonna get those emissions compliant exhaust components in, get them on the truck. We are gonna take this for a quick little spin around the block. Shout out to Blessed Performance. That's the tunes we're running. Very excited to see how this truck does down the highway with fuel economy and stuff with this tune in. I'm very excited. I think it's going to be awesome, especially once we finish all of this nonsense up. Anyway guys, if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up. I'll see you in the next upload.